best bets of the holiday weekend. And stick around to the end of the video because we're going to give you our upset special of the week in college football. You can get 3-1 on this team this weekend. So let's just dive right in. We have Troy versus Appalachian State in our first best bet matchup. Both these teams are going in opposite directions. App State and Troy both did lose last weekend, but App State is 6-2. They lost to Coastal Carolina. Tough team, tough game, and unfortunately, they are not going to be eligible to be in the Sun Belt Championship because of that loss. Troy, on the other hand, got upset themselves by Middle Tennessee State University. Now, Troy, they pass. They throw 60% of the time, and they're number 6 in the NCAA in passing attempts. They have two actually quarterbacks that they've used this year, Gunnar Watson and Jacob Free. Both can throw over 300 yards. On the other side, Appalachian State really relies a little more on their run game. They do have a balanced attack. Peoples ran last week, 28 carries, 178 yards and a touchdown. And Zach Thomas, over the last 2 games, their quarterback's thrown 4 interceptions. So turnovers has been a problem. Let's be honest, they lost the game to Coastal Carolina because of the interception that he threw late in that game. Defensively, Troy is giving up 24 points a game, and Appalachian State is only giving up 19 points a game. So you're like, okay, we're going to take the under. Not so fast, my friends, as Corso would say. Troy has given up 181 yards rushing per game on the ground. And as we just mentioned, Peoples can go off for some yardage. Now, Appalachian State only giving up 15.4 pass completions a game. That's a very low number. That's top 10 in NCAA. But Troy throws 60% of the time. So what gives? Well, Appalachian State is coming off a disappointing loss to Coastal Carolina. Their hearts are not going to be in this game. They have no opportunity to be in the Sun Belt Championship. Maybe if there is bowl games, they might be in one of those. People's going to have a good day regardless, though. He's going to want to pad his stats. This is a guy that could be in the NFL. So he's going to want to have a good day, and they're going to be rushing on the ground all day long. On the other side, Watson or Free, whoever's in the quarterback position for Troy, is going to be throwing 40-plus times against App State, and I will guarantee they throw more than 15 completions, and they're going to get some scores. I like this game to be somewhere around 35-21. App State is going to probably come out ahead, but I like the over. We're going to go Troy, App State, over 48.5. App State's 5 of 8 games this year have gone over 50 points. As much as they are a defensive sound team, they give up points in certain games. And this is one that I think their hearts aren't going to be in it, and they're going to give up at least probably 21 points to Troy. So play Troy, App State, over 48.5. That'll bring us to our second best bet of the weekend, also in college football, and that's between the Florida Atlantic Owls and Middle Tennessee State University, which we just told you about will beat Troy 2017, bringing them to a 3-6 record on the year. Now, FAU is 5-1. They came off a 24-2 Massachusetts win. That's actually not as impressive as you would think. They only, I think, gave up 100-some yards on defense, but Massachusetts is awful. Some of these teams are beating Massachusetts by about 60 points, so I didn't like how Florida Atlantic couldn't put up more points against a bad team, but they have a great dual-threat quarterback in Javian Posey. He threw for 203 and rushed for 90 last week. He is what I would consider a Kyler Murray type quarterback in college. On the other hand, Middle Tennessee State, 6 of the last 9 have gone over 50, and their QB O'Hara is their leading passer, of course, but also he's their leading rusher with over 500 yards rushing. Also a dual threat quarterback situation there. Defensively, FAU is pretty good. They are top 20 defense. Middle Tennessee State does give up passing yards. Last week they gave up 225 to Troy, but they almost give up 400 total yards per game. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks back, we gave out FAU, FIU over, and that hit almost in the first half. Because Posey is a dual threat quarterback, and he can pick up a 3rd and 7 easily. And that's what's going to happen this game. There's going to be a lot of third downs, and there's going to be a lot of quarterbacks running all over the place, scoring points, getting first downs, moving those chains. And that's what's going to happen. Middle Tennessee State University is coming off their best performance, and O'Hara has 2,000 yards passing with a 67% completion percentage, and he has limited his turnovers in the last 4 games. Posey, he's going to go off. He's going to go out there, and he's going to probably run for about 100 yards and throw for 250. And because of all the quarterback and the running, we like the over in this game. Florida Atlantic and Middle Tennessee State University, again, over 48.5. That's a great number to have this weekend, and we look for this to happen easily. And that is at 3 o'clock, I believe, Eastern time. Now, before we get into our third play of the weekend, just want to let you know that we appreciate everyone that views our free plays every single week. We try to give out as many as possible for you guys. Just hit the subscribe button if you'd like to continue getting free plays each and every week. And make sure you give us a like. That helps us out. You know, even if you dislike it, give us a like. You don't want to hit that dislike button. So anyways, we're going to get into our third play of the weekend. And of course, what would a third play of the weekend be without our friends over at Very Biased Opinions? These guys are fantastic soccer analysts. They have their own channel. It's at Very Biased Opinions on YouTube. Make sure you go check them out. So they are going to give us kind of an interesting matchup here. It's between Sheffield United, and yes, it's Sheffield United. Don't confuse that with Sheffield Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. All right, so Sheffield United is playing West Brom. Both these teams don't have a win. In fact, if you go back, Sheffield United hasn't won since September 1st in a club friendly against Derby. So it's been a few months. And also, if you go back with West Brom, they haven't won since the EFL Cup against Harrogate, which is a League Two team. Both of these teams have not won since September, and they're both looking for a win. Both teams should probably not score many goals in this matchup. Very Biased Opinions looks for John Lunderson and Billy Sharp to really come out strong for Sheffield, and they think it's going to be a 1-0 victory. Probably a late goal. I wouldn't bet on a first half over here. 0-0 at halftime looks very good in this matchup. But really, Very Biased Opinions is telling us that Sheffield is way too organized. And if they don't win this, they're going to be relegated, and they don't want that. So this is great. You can actually grab Sheffield United at plus money. It's at 186. That's what we saw it today on Friday, November 27th. So make sure you get over there, grab the value on Sheffield United, and that's just to outright win. So a 1-0, even if the goal scored in the 93rd minute, is going to give you good value and some units to take into NFL Sunday. So as a reminder, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. We have NFL bets, free plays each and every Sunday. It's coming out tomorrow. Make sure you get subscribed today. But let's just recap our best 3 bets of the weekend real quick. And that's going to be Troy App State over 48.5. FAU and Middle Tennessee State over 48.5 as well. And our buddies over at Very Biased Opinions, go subscribe to their channel. Get in on their soccer analysts. And it's going to be Sheffield United on the money line. But before we go, we teased you at the beginning, we have an upset special of the weekend where you can get 3-1 on your money. And it's going to be the Florida State Seminoles. These guys play Virginia at home. Florida State has looked great at times with Notre Dame, and they've really shown that their offense can click. They're 2-5. It's not great. Virginia is the better team here, but you can get Florida State at plus 299. That's what we saw it today as. Go get them. It's our whiskey upset of Week 13. And what does that mean? It means when you're having a drink and you're looking to hit 3, 4, 5 units in one game, this is it. Put 1 unit on Florida State. on the money line. You're going to get good value, and it's going to be a close game, and hopefully they can get a win for all of us. So that's it for us here at Grandstand Bettors. I'm Matt. As always, we appreciate you coming and spending some time with us, getting those free plays. And hey, as always, sit back, relax this weekend. Let us do the work while you do the winning.